Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about progressive overload and why this is so important for your training.
Cool. So progressive overload, what is it? Well, basically it's doing a little bit more than what you did in your last session. But we're going to do things a little bit differently to what you might currently do or have believed to do in the past, which is often we focus on only improving how much weight we lift. But we'll break it down for you to do it safer, more progressively, increasing it as we go, focused on volume, okay? The first thing we want to focus on is your form.
So we want to make sure that we're getting our form perfect first to decrease our risk of injury.
Yeah, so that's your first thing to focus on. Don't worry about your reps and weight just yet. Your form is the most important thing. Amber's going to demonstrate lightweight chest press with poor form, okay?
Oh, okay.
Poor form first, yeah. So what we're looking at here is it's pretty unstable. She's not really contracting through the pecs and just focusing on moving the weight. It's obviously short ranges and now it's all over the show. So don't do that, okay? So if your form isn't quite right, it may not be that bad, but we want you to focus on your next week doing better form and technique, better control. Let's see better form and control now, Amber.
Same weights, and we're going to get a lot more out of it this time.
Yeah, big, important there, same weight. Good. So what she is doing is she has contracted her shoulders back into the bench. We've got a slight arch where there's tension on now, and we are keeping our elbows on a 45, so the contraction is actually through the pecs rather than through the tie-in between your armpits. Okay, we don't really want to feel too much there. Yeah, that's good form. Well done. You've qualified.
Thank you.
So basically now what I just said is she is qualified now to be able to progress it next week with something else. The next thing we focus on is increasing reps. So we're going to do the same thing again with the same weight, the same form, but we're going to do 1-2 more reps. That's basically it.
So we're going to do like 20 reps on this next one.
Yeah, we'll count in like fives. So let's just imagine Amber did 8 reps last time, okay? Now we're going to get her to do 9, potentially 10 reps. We're still working to a high intensity, okay? So we still want to train around that 8 to 9.5 out of 10 intensity range, but form more reps. Okay, 9, 10. Cool. We've done 2 more reps, now 3 more reps, 4 more, okay? You get the picture, right? So we are doing a little bit more than what we did last time. If you are working to a high intensity, you probably won't be able to do heaps more reps, okay? So you might only get 1 more rep, but that's okay. That's fine. Right, what do we focus on next, babe?
Once you've done that next set and you can nail your 12, 15 reps and you still feel like you've got more reps in the tank, that is when it's time to put the weight up.
Yeah.
But not before that. So we want to make sure that we're nailing the lower weight first before we graduate, as Chris said.
Yeah, your qualification, okay?
Yes, so now we get to do the 5 kgs.
5 kg,
Woo!
heavy stuff.
Party time.
So yeah, everything else doesn't change. Her form is going to be the same. Her reps
or
are
is
now,
it? If it's too hard, then...
if it is too hard and your form does break down like this, we're probably going up too fast. Maybe you went from a 5 kilo to a 10 kilo. It's too big of a jump, okay? Smaller jumps are really, really important, especially for upper body training. Legs can get away with a little bit more, but we want to have it within a percentage range rather than looking at, oh, I can go 2 more kilos, 5 more kilos, 10 more kilos. I can go up 5% to 10% at the very top end for upper body increases, roughly. It's not set in stone, but roughly around that. Cool?
Yeah, so we just want to make sure when we put the weight up that we're ready for it. If we start doing reps that are only half rep, if we're starting to feel some sort of pain in our joints, if we're starting to get lopsided and so on, it just means time to stop, time to just put back the weights a little bit first. Maybe you need another week or 2 on the previous weight or a smaller jump.
Yeah, perfect. Cool.
Cool.
So we'll go back into it again. We'll get the heavier weight now, but we will talk about the rep side of things, because what will happen is, let's say before Amber was doing the 3 kilo for 15 14 reps, whatever it is, but the top end of the rep range that we sort of programmed for you. Then we're going to go to the heavier weight, but we're going to drop our reps back down. Okay, so we're going to drop our reps right back down to the lower end. It might be 2 less reps than your top end, or it might be 5 or 6 less reps. Whatever it is, it's not a big deal. What we want to focus on is the form and control first again. So we're at 7 kilos, so we've progressed the weight again. We're going to drop the reps back down because the weight increases higher. It might only be 8 reps this time. But that's cool, because then we're going to build on the 8 reps from there. Next week will be 9, then 10, 11, 12, etc.
And with this particular exercise, with your dumbbell chest press, when the weights are heavier, you may need some extra assistance to get the weights up as well. So we can revisit these kinds of things later. That'll be really beneficial for you guys to check out as you advance further.
Cool. So at the start, Amber flicked them up with her knees to get them into a position where she can now start that press from. Again, her elbows are 45 facing. The dumbbells are 45 as well. And we're going to keep that same angle throughout the duration of our press. Let's go. Awesome. So important here, the angle is staying the same. As we're coming up, we're not twisting it up flat and flaring our elbows at the top. The elbows are staying at 45. All right. So now we've completed 8 reps. That's the rep range that we are hitting around that 9 out of 10 intensity now. So that's how it should be looking, right? Don't go any more than that, because you're going to fail up to that, and that's where more injuries can potentially happen. So put it down, have a break, do your rest period, and you should be able to hit that same weight again, potentially for the same amount of reps with enough rest period, okay? Don't go like really low because it was really hard. It's good to work hard. Try and match it for the next set, and then the next set if you can as well.
And if all of this sounds a little bit complicated for you, make sure you're checking out the PDF.
Yeah.
So the PDF has got things written in a little bit more plain speak for you guys to understand, but you can use this example for reference as well.
Yeah.
And of course, reach out to us if you've got any more questions along the way.
If you're going to take anything from this, it's 3 things. Your form is your number one most important thing. Then increasing your reps. And the last thing you do is increasing your weight. Once you have qualified on the form and the reps, increase your weight, but drop your reps back down to a lower rep range so you can build it back up again. Okay? That's probably your fundamental takeaway from this.
Cool.
Right.
Let the gains continue.
Let's go.